Okay, everyone, we are going to get started. We will start off with, first off, before we start off, make sure you sign the attendance if you haven't. It is key so Thomas knows who has showed up and who hasn't. So first off, we'll go with the adoption of the agenda, which is motion 1. Whereas an agenda was made and whereas we need to approve it, be it resolved that council approve the agenda of the council meeting on Wednesday, January 20th, 2021, as seen on the Engineering Society website, moved by Thomas. We're on Wednesdays now, right? Seconded by Zaid. Why aren't you wearing pink, Kasim? Do we have an opening?
Yes, Thomas Wright, Director of Governance. Hello, just want to say, sorry we don't really have any new business this week. We're just getting back into the swing of things after the winter break, and with elections ramping up, there's really a lot going on with a lot of people. So things are a little slow, but hey, we get a quick meeting, which is always nice.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Thomas. Do we have, make sure, remember, I know it's the new year and all, that Thomas also has given you access to the speakers queue, but I don't see anything. So I'm going to assume there's nothing. So do we have a closing?
No.
Awesome. All right, so be it resolved that council approve the agenda on the council meeting of Wednesday, January 20th, 2021, as seen on the Engineering Society website. Moved by Thomas. We're on Wednesdays now, right? Seconded by Zaid. Why aren't you wearing pink, Kasim? You may now vote.
Motion passes.
Amazing. Motion passes. All right, so we're going to move on to the adoption of the minutes, which is the last motion on the agenda. So that's motion 2. Whereas it's been some longer than usual amount of time since the last council, and whereas Aaliyah wrote the minutes and they need to be approved. Be it resolved that council approve the minutes of the council meeting of Thursday, November 26th, 2020, as seen on the Engineering Society website. Moved by Thomas. No new business, right? Seconded by Alir. No new friends, Gasija. Do we have an opening?
No.
Amazing. Do we have any questions? I see none. Do we have a closing?
Also no.
Amazing. Be it resolved that council approve the minutes of the council meeting of Thursday, November 26th, 2020, as seen on the Engineering Society website. Moved by Thomas. No new business, right? Seconded by Alir. No new friends, Gasija. You may now vote now. Yeah, cool. Good stuff.
Motion passes.
Amazing. Motion passes. Meaning we're now on to a speaker's business, which is my business. So first and foremost, welcome back, everyone. It's nice to see all of your lovely faces again. I hope you all enjoyed a fantastic holiday season and New Year's. I know, COVID has been stressful and has been has still eaten away at society. So I hope everyone is keeping safe and your families are keeping safe. And I also hope that the new semester is treating you very well. So I only have one announcement today. It's the only one. So I've been on council for 4 years and I've been involved with the Engineering Society for 4 years. And the Engineering Society is very important to me. So it's with heavy heart that I am announcing that I am stepping down from speaker. This is my last speaker. This is my last council ever. I am stepping down on Sunday, and I'm stepping down from all of my EngSoc positions on Sunday. So, I'm saying this to make sure that you all know that, given the circumstances of this year, you've all showed up, you've all been engaged, you've all asked questions. And I think that, it's the students like you, the students that care, you are the reason why I got involved in the Engineering Society to begin with, and you're really the gears and the cogs that make sure that the society functions. So thank you to all of you. I'm sad that I won't be a part of council anymore, but if you ever want to chat to me, I am only a message away. So that is all from me. We can now get on to the executive reports, starting off with the president.
Thanks. Spencer, never gonna have a nickname, Lee, EngSoc president. So yeah, EngSoc took a break over the semester just so students could rest up. But last semester, ended with us getting a new formal convener for Sci 22. Yeah. So that's Maddie Brannigan. So congrats. Over the break, there was the Dean's reception, which I spoke at, and there's also the social media takeover thing by the executive. The election teams be doing pretty great things with like the online format of elections. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, we had faculty board after coming back. Pretty uneventful, except for actually, is there a faculty board report? Because wait, is there a faculty board? Okay, yeah, I'll leave that then, just until then. But I took part of faculty board. OWeek is in the process of hiring their FREX. And then coming up, well, elections happening, and then, meeting lower and transitioning will be taking up a lot of my time. So yeah, that's basically my updates. If you have any questions, let me know or send me an email. Other than that, have a good night.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We will now move on to the Vice President of Operations.
Spencer Rickney, Vice President of Operations. So yeah, over the break, I didn't do too much, just took a break from EngSoc in school for the most part, but I did do the Instagram takeover like the other exec for elections. So that was fun. And then over the last week, just did initial meetings, getting back into the swing of things. So just setting up statics and stuff. I'm also taking over Salma's Director of Finance responsibilities because she has to step down from her position for the month. So that's taken up a lot of my time. Salma gets a lot of emails, I noticed, so from a lot of different groups and conferences, and they all need financial help. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then just regular stuff that I always put in my report, payments, sorting mail taxes. And also Jay is now taking over payroll, so I was helping him do that. And then over the next 2 weeks, just the same old stuff, because a lot of my things take time. So developing financial analysis for the services, I'm working with advisory board to do that. Continuing work on the review engagement now that Salma's gone, making sure just everything is sent over for them. Also getting our investment updates set up to be online. This is another update I didn't put in my report, but for mail for the Engineering Society, just because of the lockdown, everything's delayed. Myself and Jay can only go into the EngSoc lounge for like 1 day a week, and the faculty is not giving us mail at the moment. So that'll be delayed for any groups waiting for that. And yeah, not much else, just continuing with Salma's stuff, questing an advisory board meeting. I'll be training the Science Quest business manager and FC treasurer at some point, and setting up Science Quest payroll. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my update.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Moving on then to the Vice President of Student Affairs.
Hello, everyone. Alex Kosh-Faciales, Vice President of Student Affairs. So things that I've been doing, at least during the past week, because I had a really nice break and I did absolutely nothing. It was fantastic. But during the last week, at least, I met with Andrew Vasila and Ben to just talk about some advisory board stuff and some things just coming up for this semester. And we also are doing a lot of elections team stuff. I also want to give a real big shout out to the elections team because they've done such a good job. And the fact that we have such a large turnout this year says a lot, I think. So I'm very proud, very, very proud. Other things is just kind of the normal stuff like catching up with exec and attending faculty board, like was mentioned before, and dean's meeting, things like that. I put meeting with Christina, but I wasn't supposed to put that in. That was for my personal stuff. But I met with Christina and talked with some people about the positions. That's kind of the normal things. Director statics. One thing that we've been working on for Gender and Eng panel is hopefully being able to recruit some more students for the new semester. So I'm probably going to be putting out something hopefully this week. Don't really want to overlap with too much election stuff and clog up the Instagram, but basically advertising for anyone who wants to join and be a mentee. So maybe if you guys are either talking to your groups or are Frex right now, if you could plug it once I post it, that would be so great. But yes, other things is just having meetings for Gender and Eng and helping out with that and organizing some more Black Lives Matter patch work. So Roche will be taking that over with his external relations team. And I think one of the bigger things that I'm hoping to work towards at least soon, and we as an ED team will as well, is just putting out an EDI accountability report, hopefully be able to just present it to you guys. I want to say for next council, but we'll see, somewhere in the short term, just to kind of go over what we've done this year for EDI and kept up to date with our action plan. So during the next 2 weeks, oh my gosh, maybe a lower soon, very excited. And then just taking over director duties for at least this week for Brian and Rain, and some more EDI planning and updating my VPSA budget. Got to do that for Ben and Salma. And then finally just director statics as normal. And that's about it for me.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That concludes our executive reports. So now we'll move on to the director reports, starting off with academics.
Wonderful. Hello there, Nick Arnott, Director of Academics. As expected, fairly minimal report on my end. Last semester ended off with a bunch of workshops and tutorials from EngLinks, and Icons managed to get up and running in Mitchell Hall for the exam season. So hopefully if you were in Kingston, you were able to take advantage of that. And then it was the break, so we took a lot of time off. But in the meantime, all of the Bed Fund reps have been doing a fantastic job of writing and submitting their proposals. So the Bed Fund team is looking over those, getting them ready for presentation to all of you folks in a couple weeks. As well as I've been doing some work for advocacy. If you remember way back at the start of last semester, I had developed a new sort of system for feedback to be collected. And that is pretty much ready to get going. So yeah, I'll probably talk about that more next council. Because in the next coming weeks, I will be finalizing that, getting it off of the ground, as well as getting back into the regular swing of things, meeting with all of my management teams, having all of them start back up and continue with their wonderful processes. So thank you very much. Have a lovely rest of your night.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Moving on then to communications. There's not, I'm just gonna skip it. Moving on to clubs and conferences.
Oh yes, that is me because Brian is not here this week. So Alex Kosh-Fitzgerald, Vice President of Student Affairs. So as I said, I'm taking over some of Brian's duties for this week, but he's gotten all prepared for hopefully transitioning the conferences soon and getting new co-chairs, which is exciting. But little things that at least I've been doing is just checking in with them and making sure that everything they have is good to go, and advertising. A lot of them are actually going to be going through with their conferences very soon, and some have already done so. But yes, QEC happened over last weekend, and that was amazing. So good job to that team. And then, as I said, transitioning, so specifically QCTF, he's finished his transition manual, so that's amazing. And just kind of updating resources for conferences in general. And over the next 2 weeks, kind of the normal things of checking in with conferences and hiring prep, because that comes up pretty close around the corner. And then statics, finishing the club's manual specifically, and then policy changes pertaining to the clubs and conferences portfolio. And that is about it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Moving on to the Director of Design.
Liam Murray, Director of Design. So like it was Christmas break, so I didn't really do much, just kind of like transitional notes. And then at the end of like last semester, I had a roundtable with all of the design teams, just kind of talked about how the semester went and like what their plans are for the semester. So moving forward, I'm going to do more transitional stuff, especially getting ready for like transitioning coming up in like mid-February. So there's that. I'm going to meet with my deputy design, make sure that everything for the design team showcase is going well, that they have like a bit of an outline for when they want it. Right now, we're looking around like the first week of March. I'm also going to go through some policy stuff. One of the things that was brought up in the roundtable was that they're worried about how next year the design team captains are going to be switched over and they may not have as much of an idea like what to do because stuff wasn't in person. So want to just go through, revise the policy so that it allows the team captains right now to be able to like still work with the team. And then also like team captain hiring policy, want to make sure that I like start to bang that out so that it's all good for when we want to use it later this semester. And that's about it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Moving on then to the Director of External Relations.
Yes, that is me. I apparently did not send my report in. I'm looking at the outbox right now. That is my bad. Sorry, Thomas. I guess it just didn't send to you. I'm just read it out right now. So things I've been doing the last 2 weeks, just like everybody else, kind of relaxed for a bit. Then I attended the CELC, so the Leadership Conference voting stream, and we brought forward and ratified the new National Executive of CFES and the new Ontario Ambassador. Oh, 1 sec, I gotta turn my laptop. Yeah, so we brought forward the national executives and new Ontario Ambassador. So that took 2 weekends. So the last 2 weekends was just spent on that stuff. So we went on like future conferences and schools and locations for that stuff as well. Started working on my transition manual stuff, so that's been good. Like Alex mentioned, also working on the transition of the oversight of the BLM patch stuff, and working with my outreach team with that. And then things I'll be doing over the next 2 weeks. So I'll be doing my first meeting with EngSoc, so continuing working on the ESCO and CFES research. First meeting with outreach, getting back into the swing of things. We have a few activities planned forward, so hopefully those pan out. Continue working on transition manual, hopefully, finish that stuff. Looking to CSE, so the sustainability conference. And yeah, I think that's about everything.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Moving on then to finance.
Ben Zurikny, Vice President of Operations. So yeah, like Alex, because one of my directors is running in the election, I'll give the report because she can't be here. So yeah, Sama's just been doing her routine tasks listed there over the break. And then when she got back, she made sure her financial officers were set up to do things without her so that things would run smoothly. She's also been working on policy changes that will be brought to next council, mainly regarding debt policy with our affiliated groups. And yeah, catching up with month ends on bookkeepers. And that's mostly it.
Awesome. Thank you. Moving on then to first year. Another election, another election position.
Alex Kosh-Facialis, Vice President of Student Affairs. So yes, I am covering for Reem tonight and this week as well. So things at least that he's been doing over the past week, I guess, is collecting info from first years on how last semester went. There was just basically some things that they wanted to reevaluate because of engagement. We want to make sure that students feel more engaged this semester. So that's kind of what that's about. But it's good to do that too, to get feedback. So exploring new platforms with his FIPCO to work on projects in connecting first years, like I mentioned. So it's kind of all connected in that sense. And then revamped the first year Discord and then started on Jacket Council, which is exciting. So things over the next 2 weeks. Jacket Council is tentatively planned for January 25th, so get excited for this. Helping CEO with jackets, so that's been delayed this year, but it's going to go forward, which is really exciting. So, yay. and then planning more events and FREC events for first years. And I think that's about it for Rain.
Awesome, thank you. Moving on then to governance.
Thomas Wright, Director of Governance. Hello, everybody. Just a warning in advance, I'm going to go on 2 tangents in this report. I'm going to save them for the end, but be prepared. So what I've been doing in 2021 so far, we ran a very successful nomination period with the elections team, who are all my personal heroes, as it says in my report. We have seen the most nominees overall in at least the past 4 years. I've been working with the CRO, the Chief Returning Officer, on campaign monitoring and setting up the voting software for voting next week, as well as working with my Deputy Returning Officer on debate nights. We had our first one last night, which went very well. We have our second one tomorrow night, which I suggest you all show up to. I also had some chats with Julia and Spencer about setting some sort of precedent for endorsements, about the possibility of whether or not that's feasible, but Julia may go into more detail there in her report, so I will leave that on the table. And going into the next 2 weeks, we will be finishing up the general election, so get excited. Also, I mentioned I become one step closer to being washed up after this, and I hope the exec enjoy their last council of not being washed up. And also beginning to plan awards committee with Alex, the VPSA, now the Director of IT, after elections clue up. So that's it for updates. So tangent 1, as I mentioned multiple times in this report, election season is upon us. It is going swimmingly. And I implore all of you not only to involve yourselves in the process by staying informed on the candidates, but also talking about this with your friends, your classmates, your housemates, however you can get the word out, because this is a pivotal election in the engineering society, not only because of the amount of nominees we've received and the amount of choice you have as students that has not been seen in the past, but this is also the first exec that will begin to navigate the engineering society out of the COVID era. It's a really pivotal time in the engineering society, and we want to make sure that your voice is as informed as possible going into this election. So again, I highly suggest finding as many resources as possible. If you missed the debate last night, we have footage of it on YouTube, on the EngSoc YouTube page, which you can find. I suggest that you either come out to the debate tomorrow night and watch our candidates for VPSA and president, or if you don't have time on Thursday night, wait until the footage is out and watch it then. The candidates have great resources on their respective Instagram and Facebook pages for marketing. You can get to know their platforms, what they want to do with the position they are running for. I would implore all of you to use those resources to the best of your abilities to make the most informed decision. That's 1. Number 2, as he mentioned in speaker's business, we are losing our speaker's aide after this council. So I just wanted to make a quick announcement on behalf of all of council. For those of you who don't know, I held the role of speaker last year. I know it can be a very stressful and difficult position at times, but when I heard that Zaid was planning on running, I thought, okay, this is the perfect guy to do it. So again, on behalf of council, I just want to thank you for all of your hard work, especially in these unprecedented times. There's the cliche. Yeah, and probably my biggest EngSoc flex is that the former VPSA was my lower, so thank you for that. And that'll do it for me. This is the busiest week in my portfolio, so I promise I won't go on that long for my report anymore.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That is very kind of you, and I thank you for that. Also, I couldn't have said it better myself when talking about the election. Please vote and please inform yourselves. Student democracy is very important. All right, moving on then to human resources.
Hi, everyone. Craig Maslin, Director of Human Resources. I also have a pretty quick update. Since last council, again, mostly have been enjoying a peaceful winter holiday season. The bit of work I did over the break was just starting transition operations in general and scheduling statics as well as initiatives for the entire winter semester, which was great. And then going forward into the next few weeks, one of our big projects will be taking a look at our accessibility training that's currently in place and hopefully iterating that. We have some great feedback initiatives that will be that are going to be ironed out over the next couple weeks, working towards the end of the semester. And our largest project is preparing for the winter iteration of our training conference, which will be run virtually again. We're hoping to get some live speakers in for this semester to sort of boost engagement, make it a little bit more interesting to watch. But yeah, with that being said, I hope everyone has an enjoyable start to their second semester.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Moving on then to information technology.
Hello, Alex McKinnon, Director of IT. A few things happened in IT this week. Dash had some serious issues regarding position postings statuses that were locked on interviewing. That has now been corrected. There are a handful due to the database being broken of positions that have not been corrected, but if they aren't, just let me know. Yeah, we had an emergency meeting for that on Monday and we got it back up and working. Other than that, over the break, I just did basic consolidation and canceling of unnecessary services to bring our monthly costs down. And we're shifting gears as a team from finishing up projects to working on our internal wiki and knowledge base to ensure it's ready for my lower. So thanks.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Moving on then to internal processes.
Allison Wong, Director of Internal Processes. So over the past 2 weeks, I finally wrapped up the deep reception, which actually happened during the Friday before classes started. And it was really good. I was really happy with the turnout. Shout out to Spencer and Ben for helping. I've also started working on a post-event evaluation for next year's Dean's Reception. And I'm currently working on my transition manual. Over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be brainstorming ideas for the EngSoc banquet, as well as starting some DOIP documentation, wrapping up my post-event evaluation, and finishing my transition manual. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Moving on then to professional development.
Barnica, Director of Professional Development. So things that I've been doing over the past few weeks have been organizing the PD OneDrive and starting to get myself and all of my exec to put together their transition manuals for the end of this semester. I've been also working really closely with Ty, who's our Alumni Networking Summit chair, to put together our event that's happening at the end of this month on the 30th. So if you guys haven't already checked it out, I strongly recommend. We have some really great speakers this year, and it's a really affordable price compared to previous years as well. We've also been working on collecting responses for our PD feedback survey. So because we've had a lot more limited contact with students this year, we wanted to kind of get an idea of if we're able to reach them and if the information and resources we're providing are actually useful. So we'll be compiling all of that information from the survey results and sending it to the members of our team to better inform our decisions. We've also been working on the PD website with our FIPCOs, and shout out to Alex McKinnon and Matt for all of his help. And over the next 2 weeks, we'll be continuing the marketing for Summit, logistics for Summit on the day of, and working on those transition manuals. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Moving on then to services.
Ben Zurikny, Vice President of Operations. Andrew couldn't make it today, so I'm going to give this report. Mainly for the last little while, Andrew's been helping CEO figure out jackets and how those will be distributed. Currently, CEO is working on a plan to send to Queens, to the reopening group in Queens, to get that approved. So that's going on. He's also helping the new Science Quest team. They were hired last semester, and they're starting now. just an update on Science Quest. So just so anyone who's not clear what Science Quest is, it's the summer camp service that EngSoc runs. And there was a summer camps meeting. There's a group university-wide that our general manager is part of. And it's still unclear how the summer is gonna look. Realistically, there won't be an answer until like the end of the semester probably. So mainly we just have to plan for both scenarios of in-person or online. And over the next 2 weeks, he's just continuing with helping CEO with jackets and Science Quest logistics. They're hiring their instructors soon. So if anybody's looking for a summer job, please consider looking into that. And yeah, then he's just meeting with the other head managers for all of the services.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Last but not least, social issues.
Julia Newcomb, Director of Social Issues. I'd like to start off with a huge shout out to Arham, who put together a resource page on the Engineering Society website. It's pretty cool. You guys should all check it out. My team ran the December 6th memorial, which went really well. So thank you to everyone who attended that. My FIPCO is going to be working on a project that I personally am very excited about, which is getting free menstrual products in engineering buildings. So when if Mitchell Hall, when, hopefully fingers crossed, reopens this term, we should see some baskets with free menstrual products for you guys, which is amazing. I've been working with the Sustainability Committee to create some goals for this term. So they're going to be working on their climate action plan, doing some media campaigning for Earth Day, and investigating ways to make Clark Hall Pub more environmentally sustainable. Some more exciting stuff in the works is bursary committee chair will be presenting to you guys later this term, and is creating a how to write a successful bursary application kind of manual infographic thing. So that should help make bursaries more accessible to students. And then I've just been doing some quick consulting with EngLinks, looking at ways that we can improve the note-taking system. So that's the system for students with note-taking accommodations who have difficulty finding note takers for their classes. Some other big stuff that I'm working on this coming week is the panel on racism in engineering. We have 3 absolutely incredible speakers that are going to be like super informative, and I can pretty much guarantee that if you come, you're going to learn about something that you didn't know about already. And we've tried to gear it more towards engineering students. So it might actually be, we're hoping it's going to be more informative, and it will have information that you can take forward with you into your careers as a professional engineer. So that will be January 25th at 7 p.m. And the Facebook event is right there in the minutes things that you guys can check out. Equity teams report on orientation week should come out in the next month. So that's something to look forward to. My team will be looking at creating accessibility training specifically for FC. So that will be given to them before they start planning events so that they know what an accessible event looks like before they start planning. General meetings, and there will be a second round of the accessibility survey. So that's for students with accommodations coming out soon. And that's pretty much everything from me. I know Thomas mentioned something quickly about endorsements, and that's a presentation that you guys can expect to come for next council. And that's everything for me. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you to the executive director team. We'll now move on to a question period. And I see no questions in the queue. Everyone had all this time, so I'm going to assume there are none. So I'm just going to move on then to the faculty board report.
Spencer Lee, EngSoc president, I can give it. Last faculty board wasn't super eventful. The only thing is that there is a new scholarship, the Ryan Catrice Scholarship. And for those of you that don't know, Ryan Catrice was a student who passed away, and the scholarship is in his honor. I believe it's funded by his family. So that's great to see. But other than that, I don't believe there's anything at faculty board unless somebody has something that I might have missed.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I think it's fantastic that Ryan Catrice has an award named after him. Ryan Catrice is actually one of the people that got me involved in the Engineering Society in my first year. So it's very nice to hear that the faculty is recognizing him in that way. Next, we'll go on then to the Alma Mater Society report. Was there an AMS meeting?
The AMS has not met since before the break. The last minor event that happened was just editing the bursary grant stuff for errors, since not a lot of people were applying for bursary grants, so that money was allocated out elsewhere. But nothing new.
Awesome. Thank you. Moving on then to the Senate report.
Jeremy Nguyen, junior senator. Last Senate meeting was right before the break. One of the notable things that they did note at that meeting was that there has been a severe increase in departures of academic integrity over the last semester. But that's kind of to be expected given the online nature. So they're not really too concerned about it, but they did mention that the numbers were quite high. There's also the dean's report, the principal's report that you guys can read. It touches on a lot of the issues that.
And they were like saying like, your professor. I can't like say. I don't even know.
Heads up for Dean, your mic is on.
Can someone unmute themselves, please, or mute themselves? Thank you. You can keep going, Jeremy. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I was just saying the president's report is available to read. The principal talks a lot about the issues that came up this year. But one thing that was noted and very criticized at the Senate meeting is that there has been no serious action plan that's been put in place. It's kind of just like they acknowledge that these problems exist, but they haven't really started doing anything about it. We'll keep you guys posted on when an action plan is released. There is a Senate meeting next week, so we should have more information next council. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to read that report right after this council meeting. Awesome. Let's move on then to the Engineering Review Board report.
Hi, Anne Broughton, Engineering Review Board Chair. There's really nothing new to report this week. It's very much business as usual. So yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you. Moving on then to the Advisory Board report.
Spencer McNee, Vice President of Operations.
Oh, hi, Spencer. I actually made it, but if you want to go, you can still go.
You got it.
Sorry, Ben. So Andrew Vasila, Chair of the Advisory Board. Shout out to Ben for having my back there. Looked like it was going to be dicey for a second, but I made it. So Advisory Board took a bit of a break over the winter. We wanted to prevent a little bit of burnout, but we had the chance to analyze some of the results from the EDI and Accessibility Orientation Week survey that we put out. I've had meetings with some of our subcommittees to kind of get back up with the next semester's projects. I had a great chat with Ben and Alex last week, and we'll be moving forward on a timeline to accomplish just about everything that we set out for the year. Big shout out to my team. They've been working really hard, and it's been a pleasure working with them.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. All right, moving on then to the club reports. We'll begin with ECE, after which we will say ZAP.
Zap.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna go on to EngFiz, after which we will say nerds.
EngFiz.
Nerds.
Nerds.
Do we have an EngFiz report? Okay. Moving on then to mechanical, after which we will say gears.
Mechanical.
Gears.
Gears.
Gears. Apple gears.
Hi, Hi, so just before the break, we were finally able to have our first social with the profs, and it was a lot of fun. So we plan on more in the new year. And other than that, we've been looking into actually getting merch and seeing if the other discipline clubs also want to join into Patagonia order to make it more budget friendly. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome, thank you. Moving on then to mining, after which we will say shafts.
Mining.
Shafts. Do we have a mining report? I doubt it. We do?
Alex
Okay, there you go.
Kosh, Vice President of Student Affairs. I'll give some info on what they've been up to. They're going to a conference soon, and that's a competition. Sorry, and it's like the mining games, so it's kind of exciting for them.
Very cool.
Yeah, and they've been doing a bunch of merch and fun things like that. So things have been going well for them.
Lovely. Glad to hear it. All right, move on then to the year reports. Starting off with Sci 2-1, Sci 2 Underwall. How could I forget? Sci 2-1.
Hi everyone, Kate Lappin, President of Sci 21. So January and February, we already knew it would be crazy, but just trying to get everything out the door. We did a lot of polling on our Instagram stories, and because it's 4th year, we make a yearbook this year. So everyone wants a physical copy instead of the online format. So in order, of course, to get that even printed and shipped here, we need to essentially make the yearbook this month. So I have 2 girls who have been, getting the software downloaded, and we have the photo submission form out. So I'm going to do a ton of marketing for that, just to try and get everyone's input to make sure the yearbook is super representative of our year, as well as, grabbing photos from all the Facebook pages throughout our 4 years. So that's one part of the insanity. And then also kind of the same deal with merch. I'm sure a few people are going through this, but making sure that all of the designs are created so that pre-orders could be made so that it can be shipped in time. Of course, because our year is graduating, so there won't be any chance for them to get it unless they're on internship. So and then in the meantime, we are having a Bob Ross night in 2 weeks, which will be fun. We pushed it out a bit just to make sure people have time to get actual paint. And we're hoping to have a yearbook cover photo competition just to get our year more involved again. And no one had any idea what to put on the cover. So lots going on, but it's going good.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Moving on then to Sci Chugga 2-2.
Sci 2-2.
Rosh.
Julia Takamoto, Sci 2-2 Prez. Our face masks have finally arrived. They actually arrived before the break, but we didn't have enough time to take orders and ship before exams, so we're doing that now. They should be going up on the CEO website soon, so you can order them online, hopefully. And we're just going to mail them out. We're also planning a Netflix party. If you have any movie suggestions, please DM us at QueensEnd22. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Moving on then to Sci Nobody Likes You When You're 23.
Frosh.
David Fliss, Sci 2-3 President.
Frosh.
Okay, thank you. So moving on to for the past couple of weeks have been pretty slow with Christmas break and everything. But pretty much the only update for this week going into 2021 is that we have Jacket Council coming up, which Rain wanted our help for, which me and my fellow Sci 2-3 Vice President Noah will be attending. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this week.
Awesome. Thank you. And last but not least, Sci 2-4.
Sci 2-4. Thank you. All right, Sci 2-4, your exec has been a bit busy right now. Starting Monday, we are having a TikTok challenge in which we are It's related to anything Queen's Engineering. We're still coming up with a theme, as well as giving away Sci24 merch, which is going to be launched on our Sci24 website. It's going to be a hoodie, and as well as we're starting up hoodie orders starting hopefully within 2 weeks once we arrange stuff with CEO. And our Bed Fund rep, Grace Ma, is currently finishing up her proposal for the faculty board. Otherwise, Sci24 doing pretty good in second semester.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That wraps up all of our reports. So the last thing on the agenda is statements and questions. Seeing none, I will now entertain a motion to close council.
Motion to close council.
Second.
All right, great. We now have to vote.
Sorry. Motion passes.
Motion passes. Alrighty. Well, thank you everyone for a nice and quick council. And for the last time, I wish you all a fantastic rest of the year.
Bye, Zaid.
Thanks for all your hard work, Zaid.
Love.
Thanks, Zaid.